Tonight, while you're asleep, your dog will close their eyes, drift into a deep stage of sleep, and their brain will start replaying the day. Their paws will twitch. Their eyes will move behind closed lids. They might let out a soft bark that barely makes a sound. And according to researchers at Harvard and MIT, the thing they are most likely dreaming about is you. Not food, not squirrels, not the park, you. And the science behind how we know this is more fascinating than almost anything else we have learned about dogs. So let me walk you through it. To understand what your dog dreams about, we first need to understand how they sleep. Because dog sleep is not just one long stretch of unconsciousness. It is a structured cycle, and it mirrors the human sleep cycle almost exactly. Dogs move through stages of light sleep, deep sleep, and then into a phase called REM sleep. REM stands for rapid eye movement. It is the phase where the brain becomes extremely active, almost as active as it is during waking life. In humans, REM sleep is where vivid dreaming happens. It is where you experience those strange, detailed, sometimes emotional scenarios that feel completely real while you're inside them. And dogs enter the same phase. About 20 minutes after falling asleep, a dog's brain shifts into REM. Their breathing becomes irregular, their eyes start flickering behind their eyelids. And this is the window where dreaming begins. Now here is where it gets interesting. We obviously cannot ask a dog what they dreamed about, but scientists found a way around that. The breakthrough came from MIT. A neuroscientist named Matthew Wilson was studying how the brain processes memory during sleep. He was working with rats, not dogs, but what he found applies directly. Wilson monitored the brain activity of rats as they ran through a maze during the day. He recorded the exact pattern of neurons firing in the hippocampus, which is the part of the brain responsible for memory. Then he monitored those same rats while they slept. What he found was extraordinary. During REM sleep, the exact same patterns of neural activity replayed in the rats' brains. The same neurons fired in the same sequence. The brain was literally rerunning the experience of being in the maze, and the match was so precise that Wilson and his team could tell exactly where in the maze the rat was dreaming about. They could determine whether the rat was dreaming of running or standing still. The brain was not producing random noise. It was replaying a specific memory, frame by frame. Wilson's team later discovered that this replay was not limited to the hippocampus. The visual cortex was also involved, meaning the rats were not just remembering the maze in an abstract way, they were seeing it again. Their brains were projecting images of the experience during sleep, creating what the researchers described as the animal equivalent of a dream movie. So what does this have to do with your dog? Everything. Because dogs have the same brain structures, the same hippocampus, the same sleep stages, the same REM phase with the same neural characteristics. If rats replay their daily experiences during sleep, then dogs, whose brains are far more complex, are almost certainly doing the same thing. And researchers did not stop at rats. Scientists conducted studies where they temporarily deactivated a structure in the brainstem called the pons. The pons is what prevents your body from physically acting out your dreams. It is the reason you do not actually run when you dream about running. It paralyzes your large muscles during REM sleep so you stay safely in bed. When researchers carefully deactivated the pons in sleeping dogs, something remarkable happened. The dogs began to physically act out their dreams. Pointers started pointing at invisible birds. Retrievers made fetching motions. Guard dogs displayed protective behaviors. The dogs were performing the exact activities that define their waking lives, but they were doing it while fully asleep. Stanley Coren, a professor of psychology at the University of British Columbia who has spent decades studying canine behavior, summarized it simply. Dogs dream doggy things. The dream pattern in dogs seems to be very similar to the dream pattern in humans. And this is where the question gets personal. If dogs dream about their daily experiences, and your dog spends most of their waking life with you, around you, focused on you, then what are the chances that you show up in those dreams? A clinical psychologist at Harvard Medical School named Deirdre Barrett addressed exactly this. She studies sleep and dreaming in humans, but when asked about dogs, her answer was clear. Dogs most likely dream about their everyday experiences, just like humans do. And since dogs are generally extremely attached to their human owners, it is likely that your dog is dreaming of your face, your smell, and of pleasing or annoying you. Think about that for a second. When your dog falls asleep tonight, their brain is going to sift through the events of the day. The walk you took together, the sound of your voice when you called their name, the moment you sat down on the couch and they pressed themselves against your leg. And during REM sleep, their hippocampus is going to replay those moments, their visual cortex is going to project them. And for a few minutes, in the quiet of a sleeping brain, your dog is going to experience being with you all over again. Now, let me tell you something about the timing that most people do not realize. Not all dogs dream the same way. The size of your dog actually affects how often and how long they dream. Research by Stanley Coren found that small dogs dream more frequently but for shorter periods. A toy poodle might enter a dream cycle every 10 minutes, with each dream lasting about a minute. Large dogs dream less frequently, but for much longer stretches. A golden retriever or a German shepherd might only dream once every 60 to 90 minutes, but when they do, that dream can last 5 to 10 minutes or more. So if you have a large dog, those long quiet episodes where their paws start moving and their breathing changes, those are extended dream sessions. And they could be spending several minutes replaying a single experience from the day. A walk with you, a game of fetch, the way the house smelled when you were cooking dinner. And puppies dream the most of all. Their brains are encountering so many new experiences every single day that their REM cycles are packed with replay activity. Every new sound, every new face, every new room is being processed and stored. If you have a puppy, they are dreaming about you more than you can possibly imagine because right now you are the biggest thing in their entire world. Here's another detail that hits differently once you know it. You have probably seen your dog twitch in their sleep. The little leg kicks, the paw paddles, the tiny muffled bark that sounds like it is coming from somewhere far away. Most people think it is random, or cute, or maybe a little funny, but now you know what it actually is. Those twitches are their muscles responding to signals from a dreaming brain. The pons is supposed to suppress those signals and keep the body still. But in puppies, the pons is not fully developed yet, and in older dogs it becomes less efficient, so the dream leaks through. When your puppy's legs start moving in their sleep, they are running somewhere in their mind. When they let out that soft whimper, they are reacting to something they are experiencing inside a dream. And when their tail wags, just barely, just a small flutter, while they are completely asleep, there's a very good chance they are dreaming about you. Because you are the thing in their life most associated with that response. Dogs also appear to have nightmares. If you have ever seen your dog growl, whine sharply, or jerk awake looking confused and disoriented, they may have experienced something unpleasant in a dream. Researchers believe dogs can replay stressful experiences during sleep just like humans do. A trip to the vet, a thunderstorm, being left alone. And if your dog wakes from what seems like a bad dream and immediately comes to find you, that is not random either. You are their safe place. You are where they go when something feels wrong, even when that something happened inside their own sleeping mind. So let me bring this all together. Your dog sleeps roughly half of every day. During that time, their brain cycles through stages of sleep, just like yours does. They enter REM. Their hippocampus replays the experiences of the day. Their visual cortex projects images. Their muscles sometimes respond to the signals. And the content of those dreams, according to every major researcher who has studied this, is almost certainly about daily life, about the things that matter most to them. And what matters most to your dog is not complicated. It is you. Your face, your voice, your scent, the way you move through the house, the sound of your car pulling into the driveway. These are the things their brain holds on to. These are the things it replays in the dark. Your dog is dreaming about you right now, or they will be tonight, and they will do it again tomorrow night, and the night after that. You are not just part of their waking life. You're part of the world their brain builds when everything else goes quiet. And to me, that might be the most beautiful thing science has ever told us about dogs. If this changed how you see your sleeping dog tonight, subscribe and turn on notifications. We break down what science actually knows about the animal curled up next to you, and most of it is more incredible than you would ever expect. I will see you in the next one.